They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City.
Yes, the color of the 27...
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel. City boy! City boy! All right, you guys, I'm going to just take on everything that's happened in the last 24, 48 hours and just kind of talk about it, dissect some of it. Now, the reason I'm playing this specifically from Sky News, because this lady, she's actually really funny, if I'm being honest. But it's just like she has a show called Lefties Losing It. And when, you know, a lot of times I do find humor in this, right? But when I'm looking at the world stage right now, and what we're doing is we're making teams and we're only playing for one team, whatever, you know, I get, you know, I understand it. But I'm trying to see through the fog. I am trying to see through the fog, okay? So one, I could not find this because I started seeing reports last night of people saying that CNN saying the dude who was in NYC doing the, you know what, the mass was white. This was the thing, and people kept saying, yo, CNN said he was, and I couldn't find the clip. I've been searching the last 15 minutes for the clip, and this was the first place that I found it. So I'm going to play that again. Then I also want to talk about the couple. There was a white couple that got beat down by, you know, oh my gosh. They got beat down by some black folks. And I think there's something to that people aren't talking about, because I started seeing people talk about it be a hate crime. And I think there's more to it than that, but I'll dive into that as well. And then what else are we dealing with on top? I felt like those were the two really big things. We already kind of discussed the whites only community, which kind of circles to all of this. But some of this stuff, there's more to it. Well, there ain't more to the CNN stuff. CNN, like, bruh, CNN is hurting their brand so bad because it's always, you guys know what it is. I mean, some of you guys do. You know, on paper, that's kind of like the stereo. Like, if you go to a comedy show, the inside joke is like when you make race jokes, right? The race joke is always like the black dude likes fat white women, or has bad credit, or has a huge D, right? The joke about white folks is they're maskers, or, you know, crazy like that, or what are they smell like hot dog water, you know, the stereotypes about Asian folks. Oh, their eyes, they have blah, blah. There's all these stereotypes, right? And that's what CNN was leaning into here. But in this category, like, this stuff is starting to get dangerous, and I just kind of had a full circle moment yesterday when I saw those white folks getting beat down in Ohio. So let's just talk about it. Anyways, if you guys are here for it, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm Black Pegasus. Link in the description of my other channels. But I thought this was interesting, and this is the clip from CNN from yesterday from the dude who went on that rampage in NYC, which is just absolutely horrible.
The picture released showed he was not.
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City.
Yes, the color of the 27-year-old mass shooter, identified by sources as Shane Tamara, was somehow...
He looks black and Korean from this picture. I have a good friend who's black and Korean. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he looks that way. Now, from some of the sources I saw this morning, again, you know, when you discuss this type of stuff so early, there's so much stuff they're figuring out. You know, sometimes you'll get in the comments and people will start spouting off all this nonsense. Essentially, someone said he was going into the building to try to say something to the NFL about CTE. And then after he took himself out, that he was like, study my brain for CTE, which is wild. So I don't know what's going on totally yet. I think there's something to get here, but I think the important thing is, people get, well, if I cover something, first and foremost, I don't know if it's healthy to be like having the dude's face and their name plastered all over television and stuff. That's kind of a thing we do here in America. I was looking this up the other day, and they do not do that in like Europe. And I don't know if there's something to that. Hopefully this video doesn't get cut off, but I want to look up the picture so you guys can see it. Ohio. What would you call it? Beating? Let's just see if we can get it pop up. Okay, so we're just gonna pull up because I'm not. So this is what I wanted to connect with. Oh Lord. Of course it didn't come up, but it did come up over there. Ohio couple. So this is it right here, this picture, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure this is the one because I keep seeing it. Anyway, damn. I don't know what else to put in. Ohio beating. Hold on. Anyways, yeah, that's her. That's it. This is it. Anyways, so I've been seeing this go back and forth. I'm trying to think here. Let's just. Okay, cool. There's pictures here. So this is it, and they're beating a man senseless in this video, and then a dude is hitting a woman, right? And for most people following the story, they follow it. But I started seeing people talk about hate crimes, and I just wanted to tell you guys from lived experience some of the things I've seen. Now, first and foremost, this is totally, I'm not going to play it because this is just going to get flagged on YouTube and it's just going to be whatever. You can go watch this on YouTube. Cincinnati police launch investigation into downtown attack. And it's on this couple. Now, I haven't seen anything yet with people hurling racial slurs during this, what seems to be attack. Please tap in the comments and send links if you know why this attack started for more context. But what I'm going to tell you guys is from lived experience. I've seen this happen multiple times in my life. And it could be with black community. Like I've seen so I actually broke one of these up when I was probably like 19 years old. I was at this club. It used to be called the Metro, and it changed its name to the Function and Icons. It was off of North Academy in Colorado Springs. And I walk out of the club. My friend Don has told this story on the podcast before. We walk out, and there's this group of black dudes, black folks, just beating down another black dude. And they start going to where they call like stomping them out. And the moment I saw it, my reaction was just run over there. And I just ran over there. I would just yelled, "Stop, stop, you're going to kill him. Stop." And everyone just kind of backed up, and it ended. I don't know what I was thinking. I could have got severely injured. They could have started beating me down. A lot of things could have happened, but that was just my natural instinct to do that. Today, me having children, a bunch of different things, I don't know how you approach this type of situation because people could have firearms, they could have knives. There's a lot of stuff going on here. But this is totally unacceptable behavior. But what I wanted to say is in ghetto culture, okay, this is called getting jumped. People act like they've never seen anyone get jumped before. And I'm like surprised because I saw people saying this is potentially a hate crime. And honestly, it could be, but what I'm seeing is somebody getting jumped. And this has happened in my childhood and, well, more of my teenage life. And when you're around, let's say, ghetto culture or gang culture, this is super common. And this doesn't just, I get it, the optics look horrible because it's black people beating down a white person. And imagine a group of white people beating down a black person, right? The optics are incredibly horrible. It's totally unacceptable behavior. I'm just wanted to say from my lived experience, this is something I grew up seeing. Now, when I say ghetto behavior, it goes for other races as well. Now, my personal living, I saw this happening in the Black and the Mexican community personally. It's called getting jumped, getting beat down. And it's just like, yo, sometimes you get jumped into a gang like this. This is how people get jumped into a gang as well. Like, yo, I want to be down. And they just have to go fist and cuffs with all the gang members. And they end up getting beaten down. It's like, oh, you earned your stripes. You're down, homie. You're a part of the gang, right? But this type of behaviors just comes from people who don't control themselves. So when I see all these different things, right? So we see the CNN component where they're trying to make this thing racially driven instead of just being objective and being like, hey, we're going to get the facts as they go. Da, 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 da. Here's the picture. Here's what he looks like. They didn't have the picture. They said they distributed all the pictures to the police, and they're saying that it's a white person. And then this same things will happen in other scenarios, stereotypical scenarios, like let's say a robbery, and then they'll be like, oh, it was a black person. And then it's like, someone different. Like there's a bunch of different things that happen like that. But I wanted to talk about this one because this one was really sad. And people are talking about, there's so many things going on in the video. Go watch it for yourself. But there are moments, so these people are getting jumped or beat down. But every now and then there's a black person grabbing people and trying to pull them back every now and then. People question who's filming this and not helping. And I'm just in awe of where society's going. And I think this is just another demonstration of behaviors that are becoming more. I've grown up seeing this a lot, and it just seems like it's more prevalent now. Right? Where people get in these fights and they group up on someone. And so, anyways, I just wanted to address this and see what you guys thought, because I got on a video of this and went in the comments, and I saw a bunch of people saying this was a hate crime. And potentially that's possible. But from everything that was out at the time, I didn't see anything that led to that. I saw this as just someone getting jumped and getting beat down. My buddy Don from the channel, this actually happened to him. And this was just white dudes, but they were at a house party. A white dude disrespected his female friend at the time, hardcore. He stood up for her, and the dude who did it, they got in an altercation. Let's just say the dude who disrespected his female friend, that dude ended up getting his face cut very badly. And the whole party jumped Don. Like I remember, because I wasn't there. And when I got the news, I went to see him, and he was all in his basement. His ribs were jacked up. I mean, it took him months to recover from that beatdown. A whole party just stomping him out. So this is something I've really seen in real time or effect. And this type of stuff happens. And again, this is mob rule. This has nothing to do with race in the sense, unless they're like, like it was racially motivated, and they come out with that and be like, hey, we have proof it's racially motivated. Absolutely. Hate crimes, get it, got it. And again, I'm not arguing that this is acceptable behavior. This is the worst of the worst. But what I'm saying is mob mentality. When people mob up, you see this. You see this with Antifa. You see this with a bunch of different things. When people mob together, they will gang up on one person and just do the unthinkable. So I think this got caught on camera, and I do feel like these things are being positioned in this current day, right? Because we also have this whites only community thing going viral right now. And it would allege to this. They'd be like, did you see that? They are targeting white people. They're jumping them. They're doing this. And we want to be safe. We're starting a whites only community. And I think there's a lot here. And then the CNN clip blaming a white person for doing the shooting in New York immediately would also favor this community who's saying, hey, all these different things are happening, and we just, we want to we're tired of being blamed for it. We're tired of this. We just want to, self-segregate per se. So I personally, seeing all these things pop up in my timeline as of recent, I think they're being like positioned. Things are being positioned for something. So I just wanted to record this as like kind of a timestamp. Today is July, I believe it's the 29th, July 29th. And we're going to see where these things go. Because I've been seeing more and more interesting thing. And sometimes I question, are they positioned for more divide? Are they, because there's a lot of people that don't watch this stuff. There is a lot. People like, oh, that happened? What? I didn't know that. Like, this is like internet. This is because I'm on the internet too much. And I'm going to keep disconnecting from it more and more. But those three stories, I think the NY shooting, this couple getting beat down in Ohio, and then the whites only community, those are things that are like really prevalent, just like in a week's time span. And so I was like, all right, let me just talk about all of them at once and see what you guys, the pulse is with you guys. Because, there's going to be people riled up in the comments like, no, this was a hate crime. And then the other thing, when you see optics like this, don't forget, y'all seen the videos where they were going viral when they did the anti-Asian hate bill or something. And it was always some hood black dudes beating down Asian people, right? Like, this is not something that we haven't seen before. And I think these type of behaviors, you got to crack down on it. It can't be okay just to assault other citizens. And then like this in the savage way, like, again, this could be cultural, because I grew up seeing this in the black community and personally in the Mexican community. Like, it's a thing, getting jumped or beat down. Like, this, oh, bro, I got jumped. Like, when you're in that world, hearing someone be like, damn, bro, they jumped me, bro. We got to go ride on them, dog. That's what happened. These people are getting jumped. This is what happens. And it's savage and it's primitive and it's very unfortunate. But I've seen this at like biker bars too, because I used to do an open mic at what would be considered more of a biker bar in town. And so you see these activities amongst a certain type of person, right? More people who gravitate to the criminal element. And so that's just what comes with the territory. So as I watch this, I don't know if it's racially motivated. That's all I'm saying. It could be, but I don't know, because I have seen people get jumped, and I've seen that in the culture. So I just wanted to put a highlight on some of these things, see what you guys think, see how it all comes together. And then, unfortunately, these videos don't really bring people together. They get us super distracted, and it makes your blood boil. Also makes you be like, yo, is this person going to do this, that, or the other to me? I don't think that's healthy. But again, I just wanted to talk about it. I honestly don't have the answer, but I think discussion will help us get closer to an answer. But I don't know, man. This is really unfortunate and sad. I hate seeing stuff like this. Like I said, I ran into the middle of one of these when I was a young guy to stop it from happening, because it's just like, it's horrific. And it doesn't matter who it's happening to. It's just like, bro, when you see a bunch of people, and it's just so crazy to just see their anger and just that ravidness of like the wolf pack just come out of a human being. It's actually somewhat scary to know what we're capable of. But better to know than to be naive about it and be cautious. So anyways, you guys let me know what you're thinking out there. I hope you're having a good day. I know this is some heavy conversations, but it is definitely important conversations. All right, I'll holler.
City boy,